love, love, and third eye vibration. What's going on with y'all, man? Hey, this is number 7. How to maintain a free mind in a controlled society. I'm gonna introduce a phrase to y'all, the term really what it is a satanic sin. In the Church of Satan, in the religion of Satanism, in the whole conglomerate of individuals that adhere to these ideologies consciously, because I'll say that in this institution, they have a set of sins, things that their members are not permitted to do. Of course, these sins are I almost want to cut the video off because I'm talking hella slow, and I know it might be hard for some of y'all to follow, but fuck it, I'm gonna just continue to go. Boom. I smoked like right before this, so I'm high. My mood is extremely mellow right now. I'm in a theta state, a deep theta brainwave, definitely deeper than the other videos that I've made. And just to talk about my life and my relationship with drugs, because I definitely talked to y'all about it in the last video, and it's definitely something that's prevalent in my personal life. But the control of these substances and the use of them as a tool and spiritual relief and spiritual medicine is my perspective on it, my use. And again, you have to have the control, the mental energy, fortitude, the ego to handle these drugs, because again, your ego, you know, if y'all hear me talk about it in negative ways, like it's bad, don't ever think that. You need ego. You need a lot of it. You need ego. You need a lot of it. You need it in this world in particular, this competitive, aggressive world. You know, a lot of y'all don't have a solid defensive shield and foundation. Mentally, it may be there as far as your speech and your ego and your mind, but physically is where it needs to manifest for you to, again, have that advantage in this world and not be at that disadvantage of being, again, powerless, like I spoke on in the last video. But boom, the Church of Satan, these people that, again, do control the world because they understand these psychological things in the brain, these psychological principles. I'm sorry if there's been anticipation for me to say this statement or reveal this particular satanic sin that I also want to make sure that y'all aren't missing the mark on. And this is being forgetful of past orthodoxies. Forgetful of past orthodoxies. So to me, that means, because I didn't look it up, I didn't search this term, but basically being forgetful of past revelations or facts that you know in your head, energies, frequencies that you are on as a person. Now, me personally, I shift between so many different realities, between YouTube, Instagram, my personal life, family life, this and that. So, and the reason I see within my personal life, and I could give this to y'all, when you're forgetful of past orthodoxies in this capitalist world, in this American economy that is generated by money and discipline. But really, discipline is so interesting because once you ritualize yourself and put so much habit or so much programming onto your subconscious mind that things just become a habit, you literally can't do this without first doing this. That's how deep the ritual really goes in your mind. And when you actively are doing these practices, really doing the work. So most people that work in this world and make a lot of money and spend a lot of time working, their mind has only been programmed that much that that's their reality. The other side of it, the lazy side, or the side of course, there's most people that, work a job, job, just over broke. You're just making enough to make ends meet. You're just making enough to keep a roof over your head to sustain your lifestyle. And again, this society is extremely controlled. So the mechanisms put in place, the flowing of this economy, the reason why you may be in a state of confusion, in a state of what the fuck is going on? What is life? Why is it like this as an adult? Because it is extremely not natural. It is extremely pulled and reversed from a natural way of living, which would be community, sharing, people, resources abundant and plentiful. In this world, you work or you starve. Forgetful of past orthodoxies. So when you're forgetful of a past frequency of, let's just say, being hard, being tough on yourself, being tough on life, when you let that energy of gentleness or compassion for the world and others and things, that softness begins to creep into your heart, which is only human compassion, which is only your true spiritual unity and oneness and feeling and connection with everything on this planet. But you're immediately snapped back into that capitalist mindset, at least a mindset of survival, to keep a roof over your head and keep yourself fed. And then the drive and push that is needed to achieve that is unnatural. So there is a disconnect between our natural way of being versus our manufactured way of surviving in this culture, in this economy. So boom, falling into your pleasures, falling into your lust, falling into your lower carnal human desires, as do probably the larger percentage of people on this planet, as far as how they spend most of their time in comparison to the people that spend most of their time up and working and discipline. Again, that term discipline, I ain't even gonna explain it again because I want to stay on this point. But most people's discipline has just been programmed into them because that's the way they think just life is, or that their life is, or that is what they are. So from maybe your perspective as a lazy person or a slothful person that likes to sleep and enjoy life and enjoy the pleasures of life, you may look at them as if they have something that you don't possess or that they're so far ahead of you, but really that's just deeply instilled programming over years, decades. So falling into your pleasures, falling into your lust, whatever you get dopamine from, you begin to forget, you begin to lose sight of a past understanding of what is needed to achieve, to grind, to grow, to expand. So boom, forgetfulness of past orthodoxies. This is a sin within the satanic institution, the Church of Satan. Now, I, Angelo CTRL, am not a Satanist. The tenets of Satanism, the things that you must adhere to, that essentially makes you a Satanist if you adhere to these things, or if you live by this, or if this is you. Boom, the tenets. Moral relativism is basically the idea that a right action is subjective. A person, an entity, a group of people can harm other people, can perform wrong actions, wrongdoings, in violation of their human God-given rights, as far as whatever theft, assault, rape, killing, murder, all of these things, these wrongdoings, It's essentially justified in the mind of a moral relativist. Now, you yourself may be a de facto Satanist. You may be a moral relativist, but again, you have been programmed very deeply, and a lot of y'all are rebels without a cause. You mad at the world, you mad at people, you mad at your life without digging deep and figuring out why your life is the way it is. And then you would point to the system. Well, first you might point at God, but once you figure that out, then you'll point at the system. Then you'll see why things are the way they are, why people act the way they act, why this economy and society is controlled and going in the direction that it's going, why you were born into it. Look at your parents. Objectively look at your parents and see the type of people that they are, see the life that they brought you into, see the relationship that they have with one another, and then look at how your relationships is playing out with who you dealing with. All of these things. And again, don't forget your past orthodoxies. Don't forget the books that you read, the information that you have stored in your mind, the downloads that you have gotten. Y'all definitely need to utilize your notes more in your phone. Make note of things that you learn, things that you discover, things that help you on your path within your individual ego game and in your mental state, your thoughts, your energy, who you are as a person. Because slipping into your feminine side in this world, in this particular economy, it serves you less. It simply does. Slipping into your pleasure, your slothful energy, your want to sleep and leisure. Earn your leisure. It is a real thing, but it shouldn't be. Let's put it that way. But nonetheless, we are here. We are in this game, so you must evaluate the rules and regulations and see the way that people play it and learn to play. It's as simple as that. Be the controller of the game. Control your life. Now, it may take 6 years. Depending on where you're at, it may take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. But it is a level of mental understanding and social thing that has to be understood in your mind as to why people reject you, as to why you're not received. You have to understand it. Once you accept it, then you act. You either don't give a fuck and you continue to do what you're doing, or you adjust to the laws, to the rules of the game that's being played or that you're trying to play in. But don't be upset, angered, mad at the game because it is the way it is. That serves you less. Now, the act of releasing your sexual energy, it puts your brain back into homeostasis, back into its restful state, back into its relaxed, receptive, clear state. Your brain frequency is probably closer to a theta frequency, the frequency that I'm on right now. This is from drugs. But after you release, there's so many endorphins, there's so much energy in so much things being released in your brain that subdues you, that relaxes you. But then you remember, I gotta go to work. I gotta help such and such with this. Because we living in this economy, because we living in this game, because you don't have to keep a roof over your head, but you choose to. You want to. Again, going to the complete edge within this psychedelic journey, within this spiritual journey, you essentially don't have to work. There are more than enough places, warm climates, tent cities that you could provide for yourself, that you could survive, that you could make a living, and probably a fun living, probably a better living than this living for some people. Now, I'm not saying that's just a viable solution, but it is an option, as opposed to suicide, which others do perform, commit. And that is something that I have gone down that route going down that rabbit hole of thinking, going down the weighing my options as if that's a viable option, as opposed to this option of life. And I don't wish that on nobody, but I know a lot of people are going through it. And if you happen to be a person that's going through it in this particular moment, I would just advise you to find a role model. Find somebody that has also been in your shoes, that is also down where you have been down, that has went through exactly what you have went through, whether it's the heartbreak, whether it's the physical injury, whether it's the debilitating thoughts, whether it's the loss of someone in your life. You know, the will to live is something that needs to be addressed in a lot of people. The will to survive in this economy, for one, and then the will to live. Because once you tackle this economy and this society and this structure, this controlled society, then it makes it a lot easier and fun to live within it because you know the game. But when all you see is negativity, when all you think is negativity, and again, this is a method, a mindset, whatever that they want you to fall into, this way of being, this way of looking at the world, no hope. You know, they flood you with images of negativity. They feed you pharmaceutical pills to numb parts of your brain so you're not functioning correctly and intelligently and holistic in this society and just happy and blissful within your own mind, within your own solitude. So many things, y'all. So boom. Luckily, my brain was able to remember that I was speaking to y'all about moral relativism. And I'm gonna go down the rest of the 4 satanic tenets. I don't like the white showing in my motherfucking, I like it too. This don't have no drawstrings, but I'm good, I can rock with it. All right, boom. So being a moral relativist, the morality of the situation, the right or wrong, a person may think that it's relative, that it's justified to do this act, it's justified to harm this person, to take this person from one place and put them in another, to whatever may be done that is fucked up. That's because this society is based on moral relativism. The authority, the police, the government, they have the capability, the right, it's justified for them to act and harm and touch other people, you know, force laws on them. Now again, we do sign away on a lot of things. We do verbally agree to a lot of things without a certain understanding of what these words mean, what these laws entail, and what you are handing your judicial and legal rights over to when you fucking with the law system, or just trying to rent something, or trying to own something, or trying to buy something. A lot of shit entangled. It always helps to have more fiat currency. It always helps to have more money, but the time needed to get to that point of less money to a lot of money, there's a lot of mental shit for a lot of people that has to be figured out and dealt with. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I would be rich right now if I wasn't a forgetful person of past orthodoxies. But deeper than that, on my spiritual journey, I've always learned, and I've never really given a fuck about money, understanding that it's not real, that it's just paper, that it's just an idea, a belief, so you can get it whenever you want, simply by getting a job or getting 2 jobs. So I've always been able to rest in my own peaceful awareness and patience within this game of life. And I offer y'all the same. So boom. Don't quit, y'all. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your journey. Don't give up on your creativity. Don't give up on your art. Don't give up on your passion and your pursuit for greatness or for peace, because your pursuit for personal peace, it will be granted. You will get there. And then your pursuit for world peace, world healing is damn near an inevitable effect after it, within your speech, within your art, within what you create, within how you move about in this planet. But you must tackle that moral relativism within your own mind, within your own outlook, to make sure that you yourself are not a de facto Satanist. All right, boom. Tenet number 2. I don't know the order that they go in, but I can definitely think of them off top. Moral relativism and social Darwinism. Moral relativism, social Darwinism. There's one more I got in my mind, and then one more I'm going to have to find. So, boom. Social Darwinism is the concept, idea that the toughest, the alpha, the biggest, the loudest, the most powerful, they rule in this society. They get certain rights, certain energy, certain whatever, because they are the most socially dominant. They appeal to the social dominance or the social standards. And the biggest figure in our society, really in the world, is LeBron James, of the most alpha male in any room that he will walk into. So, social Darwinism, of course, is a man-made concept because we're within this economy. Now, natural Darwinism, I do believe, is a thing. Of course, you can look at the animal kingdom. It's evident. But even looking at humanity, without the social construct put in place, if we were living in natural communities, of course, the strongest, the person that put the most time in to be strong, will have a certain priority, a certain pass to do certain things, to have a certain leadership or guidance. And the person that has spent the most time dealing with medicine will have the priority in that field. The person who spent the most time singing and chanting and creating sounds will have priority, a respect in that field. And that's just the natural flow. And of course, when it comes to violence, those things will emerge because of our lower nature, our lustful energy, our possessiveness, our attachment to others. All of those ego things will happen. But within this economy, within this culture, social Darwinism, it's constructed, it's manipulated, it's here. But to see it, to know it, to decode it, to choose to rise within it and play within the game, or opt out of it in all forms and take nothing personal, take no projections personal, take no labelings personal, the things that people call you, how you're perceived. But of course, it don't feel good to be rejected in this world. It don't feel good to not get love and praise for who and what you are. So it does help to align with some of these social Darwinian concepts and ways of being within this world. And it grants you a lot of ease, but of course the time that comes with it is such a give and pull to this life shit, because the time to get something is also the time and more needed to maintain it or grow above something. So I will let y'all make that decision. Social Darwinism, moral relativism. I know that eugenics and epi-eugenics is the 4th tenet, but I absolutely cannot think of the 3rd one right now. Oh, boom. Selfishness. It may be because I'm being a little selfish in my life right now as far as the time that I'm putting into my own work, my own focus, my own studies, my own projects. I'm personally being selfish to rise and evolve in this capitalist American economy that I do enjoy and have love for, and I would like to see thrive. I would like to see more people prosper, but goddamn, the fucking evil mind traps that are put in place for people to fall victim to their own minds is terrible. But selfishness, ego, your lower nature, your carnal desires, as the number one thing, the satanic self being the God. Now, I have offered y'all this energy as far as confidence, as far as self-knowing, as far as understanding, as far as doing more, as far as being greater. But to have it and it's not really based on nothing is well, for it to be based on shit, that's still cool too. Because again, it's a sin. Unproductive pride is a satanic sin. Again, along with forgetfulness of past orthodoxies. I think it's 9 of them, and that's at least 2 of them. Now, the tenets to be a Satanist consciously or by default: selfishness, ego, lower desires, self-advancements. I want me, gimme. It's all about me. I want more money, more wealth, more property, more material, more control, more power, more dominance over others. Again, I advocate for inner control, inner monarchy, spread love, freedom, peace, the message, the energy, the creativity, the abundance, greed and lust and wrath, power, all of these, of course, negative power over others, is lower nature, selfish, satanic, egoic desires. This is what you want to monitor and look at within yourself, and of course, look at within the society, because the general percentage, the mass percentage, the common denominator of people are Satanists. They are de facto Satanists without even knowing it. So boom, the fourth tenet, eugenics. The idea that a group of people have the right to dictate the genes and the ways of being, the functioning, the growth of another group of people, instituted through chemicals, the food, media programming, all of these things, eugenics. You can look at niggas in the hood, people in the hood. I drove to Louisville, Kentucky 2 years ago, and I was in the neighborhood. The Airbnb that I was in was downtown, and not far from that was a hood. So within this hood, they had corner stores, convenience stores, and in the convenience stores, frozen food, high fructose corn syrup drinks and chips, this, that, the other. Of course, nothing wrong with it if you eat it, if it's what you have in your life, but to not have the option of organic, whole foods, or even grocery stores within your proximity, but the housing is looking a little bit better, gentrification, that is the state that a lot of people is in. So, that's an example of eugenics, an example of manipulating the genes and the DNA and the brain structure and the functioning of a society for the benefit of the people that are the practitioners of the eugenics. So it benefits them for you to be dead within your thoughts, emotions, and actions, because of the things you put in your body, because of the way you think, the way that you live. Of course, they're putting forth bad genetics, so really it's epidysgenics, but they call it, wait, what did Mark Basio say? Shout out Mark Basio. Eugenics, meaning good genes, meaning you're feeding the young the good, and you're teaching them good, and you're, boom, trying to produce great ways of being in a great society. Dysgenics is truly what it is. Again, all of this shit is word magic. All of these laws and justifications and things that they put on you to be and to appease to in this society, and even the spell of claiming something is something, put the dis in front of it, and it is evident what is going on in the world. Dysgenics, the breeding of bad genetics, the breeding of harmful genetic things that will just continue to be passed on and fed throughout our society and our culture. The 4 satanic tenets. Now again, y'all have the option to be a Satanist. Y'all have the option to be what you want to be. Rather, you want to be a selfish, egoic, desire person. Rather, that's just a chapter or journey in your life right now. Because I certainly have been on that path, not knowing the knowledge of Satanism, de facto Satanism, and this and that. So, of course, forgive yourself if you are in it, but rise above it if you need to, if that's not what you want to be, if you don't want to continue to harm and be a negative cloud to the people in your life. But if you don't want the particular people in your life and there's a reason that y'all are having disconnects and energetic struggles, is 9 times out of 10 pointing to something within you that needs to put in more time to get away from these people and align with people that are more on your frequency. Again, I'm not deeming you bad if you are a Satanist, if you choose to be a Satanist, if that shit sounds good to you. Of course, love is the law, harm none under the law. But being a Satanist, do your thing. I advocate something different, and we will get to my personal philosophy down the line. But of course, your higher self, spreading the love, the knowledge to get to the heart frequency, to unlock it. Boom. Neville Goddard says something excellent in The Power of Self-Awareness audiobook. All ignoble deeds and acts will inevitably lead to unhappy consequences. So the things that you're doing to others that may be at their expense and at your gain and you not giving a fuck, if they're unhappy, they'll spread the unhappiness. The cause and effect can inevitably come back to you. Rather, if you're spreading good and doing good and being great in your life, that same energy will reverberate. So you choose, but also don't let none of this shit affect you. Take nothing personal. Care about your health, care about yourself. I advocate to care for your loved ones in your tribe and treat those in your circle good. But of course you would push those away that you don't. Maybe you want new friends, maybe you want new people, maybe you want to align on a different frequency. Maybe you just want to be solo. Whatever it is, you got options in this life shit. Maybe you want to go to San Francisco and live in a tent. In this life shit, you got options. But understand that most people are de facto Satanists. By default, they fall into this category. By default, they could be labeled these things. Simply, if you're a moral relativist, that's the biggest one, because, it basically states, you're stating in your mind that you believe that it's okay for harm or wrong action to be done to another person. And that's some fucked up shit. And I don't condone that. I don't like for other people to be hurt. I don't like violence. I don't like to even make other people feel bad. I used to not like to flex, but now I flex because I know niggas hate. But I used to not really even like making people feel insecure. That was always a thing for me. I would always try to pull up the person that was being laughed at or teased or, alienated. But that's just me. Like I said, my heart chakra has been blown out to such a degree because the way I live, my personal life, the things that I enjoy, the things that I go through, the people in my life, everything. My life is good without money, but now I want money. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get money. And y'all should do what y'all gotta do to get money, to get prosperity in your life, which is the word that I wanted to use within the ritual that I did, I think 2 videos ago. But my mind said wealth because I think that's the frequency I'm on, in particular, me, Angelo CTRL. But for y'all, look for prosperity in your life, look for abundance, look for more energy, more creation, more positive things, because you ultimately have to shift your mindset and alchemize to the person that is receptive of the good things, of the good people, of the good energy. It helps to align with the principles, the 7 Hermetic principles, because your mind is all and the universe is mental. Your mindset, your paradigm, your perspective, how you looking at life, how you looking at yourself, the words that you use, how you repel or attract people into your life It all starts from within. The cause of your thoughts, your mental energy, your aura, who you are aligning with, the money that you're making, the money that you're not making, all of those things. It's all mental. I had this conversation with someone a few days ago. So you saying I could just be in the NFL? Yes. It's all mental. It's all in your mind. It's all the time that you put in to shift from this current reality. If it's not meeting your standards within your mind, if you don't fully like it, it's things that can be done. It's mental tools, mental alchemy, mental ritual, natural ways and beings and flows on this earth that you can align with. Again, the new year is no better time to align with the capitalist energy of gain and more and prosperity and success. A waning moon cycle, for example, which I do think that we're in. Maybe that's why I'm a little bit calm. But after that, we'll go to a new moon. But the waning moon cycle is the time for you to destroy, to rid things that no longer serve you, egoic habits and traits and beliefs that you're holding on to, attachments. Get it all out the way. Ways of being, things, people. Think about it, look at it, because the new moon is the time to gain within inner prosperity, inner growth, inner strength, then tackle the outside world. I promise. It helps because you don't want to be at war in your own mind, and it's a war out here that you got to fight inevitably if you want to survive. So having your own thoughts going against you, having these constant negative thought loops and not having solutions to it is a terrible, 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 terrible thing. It's a terrible place to be. Mentally, it's a terrible energy. People can feel it on you. People can sense it. It resonates. And again, all through the mind being all, again, your mind, your brain, plus your heart. How are you feeling about things? Has your chakra system been elevated to your heart where you can unlock and merge the heaven and the earth, the lower material self with the higher self, and merge it in your heart and have a strong aura? Again, if you are a de facto Satanist, if you resonate more with a satanic frequency, you basically just not at the heart chakra. You basically are choosing not to be that way. Most likely you've been programmed to not live from your heart chakra. And therefore your thoughts is inevitably darker. Inevitably your perspective on the world is more of a dark view, more of a pessimistic, glass half empty way of seeing life. And it's okay because you can start now. You can start right now. You can let this video be your checkpoint to doing more, to achieving more, to being more, to affecting people in a different way. You know? Yeah. Did I have a cause for getting on this camera? Of course I did. I felt as if I needed to do this before I did fucking laundry, but did whatever else I needed to do in my life. Because the energy that I'm feeling, and again, I'm seeing that this is gonna be an extremely safe space for me, talking to y'all, interacting with y'all, and definitely something that I could have utilized over the past few years that would have saved me from a lot of dark shit, a lot of dark energies, a lot of negative thoughts if I continue to share and express my thoughts on camera. But ultimately, I'm actually happy that I did, because I would never want to mislead. I would never want to be a blind man leading blind men. That's not what I would ever want to do. But I can see. I'm wide awake, conscious as fuck. I can take y'all some places with your mind. And I'm not saying that I'm the only option or I have all of the answers, but this particular frequency, to do drugs in peace and harmony, to love life and yourself and spread energy and not take things personal, it's not easy. And I see how people can by default fall into the way of being defensive or even attacking others before they attack them. Whatever else comes from a negative mindset and scarcity perspective of living and a way of being. But this shit over here is pretty cool. So again, the drugs, the mushrooms, it only unlocks a certain level within you. It breaks down the ego and the armor. It shows you what you are, the mushrooms at least. The acid shows you what you are not. But the mushrooms shows you what you are, shows you that you are an infinite, free being of peace and love and light and creativity and freedom, ultimately. That you're free from judgments, free from perceptions, free from titles, free from labels, free from the things that people hold over you, and that it's okay to love the things that you love and do the things that you do. Mushrooms is definitely the earthly feeling center of you. It puts you a lot more in contact with that side of you, that sensual feeling side. Now, a lot of y'all may be detached from your feelings. A lot of y'all might be primarily left brain thinkers. So your limbic system, the part of you that dictates and facilitates emotions throughout your body, may be in disuse or not functioning properly because of your chronic use within your left brain, chronically, logically analyzing, database, thinking, and looking at the world and observing and dealing with people. It knocks off the function of your limbic system for your emotions and your feelings and your sensations and your awareness of feelings in your body. It knocks it all off, throws it all out of balance. So on the other end, if you're more of a right brain, compassionate, feminine, ethical, creative thinker, and it's overbalanced to a point where you know you're this person by this point if you've been following these videos. But if it's overbalanced, then your reptilian brain, your R complex, becomes a little bit atrophied, a little bit lessened in power and in usage. Therefore, you may become a little bit more subservient, a little more passive in your actions and your ways and your thoughts when dealing with the outside world. So the balance is what needs to be struck. That shit will get y'all extremely far. The holistic intelligence and having your limbic system, which I associate with the pituitary gland. Well, it is associated with the pituitary gland that facilitates emotions and hormones and serotonin and this and that throughout your body. I associate that with the seventh chakra because your seventh chakra is more feminine. It's more of a receptive connectivity with the divine source, with nature. You have to be open to it. So if you chronically logical and database driven within your thoughts, then you're blocking that side of you just a little bit. Even your rigid skepticism that may arise in a left brain thinker will block off the receiving of the divine energy, the impouring that is available to us all. The more that you open your portal to it. And again, the left brain, right brain. See, I'm getting cinematic in this video, but that's definitely the mushrooms and the weed talking. But where was I? Right brain. Oh, right. So your R complex, I associate that more with your third eye, your pineal gland. And I think that it is closer to the third eye. But again, I'm not a neuroscientist, but I know a lot about neurology in comparison to the layman, but I know a lot about spirituality in comparison to anybody. So R complex, again, your fight or flight, your unconscious habits, your way when you freeze up or get into a mode of survival is what's turned on. Again, it's weakened if you're more of a right brain thinker in the way that you deal with the world. If you're more passive, boom, boom, your R complex is weakened. R complex associated with the pineal gland. Your pineal gland, of course, is your source for all creativity, imagination, the fear, your imagined fear in your life, false evidence appearing real, all of that facilitated through your pineal gland affects your R complex, affects your unconscious state, affects your, I also associate the unconscious and the R complex with the God state, the God mind, the Kundalini energy, the snake rising, detached from all things, from all people, that energy, that drive, that will to survive, to do, to go. All things that you want to look at within yourself and balance them out, because it helps so much within this world, within this game. Again, you cannot be the true magician if your ego is in the way, if your own thoughts is in the way, if your own stance and perspective and what you is willing to debate and defend in this world, all of that shit knocks you off from the true path, from the true alchemist. But like I said earlier, you need the ego. So learn more, do more, produce more. It'll inevitably fill your brain with more knowledge and information and perspective and God-like energy, regardless of what it is. Now, once you find something to immerse yourself in, it does get addictive. So whatever it is you may be immersed in, it always helps to check the shadow that is arising, double check the ego that is happening from you and your new personality, your newfound love for something or someone. Because that shadow is what always rears its ugly head, that darkness, that side of you that is negative, that side of you that is nasty, however it comes out in your speech, in your energy, in your thoughts. All right, I think this will help. Lower back, feeling some strain from the, what is this? Lotus position. I like the lotus position. I meditate a lot. We can talk about meditation. Meditation. Do y'all want to meditate? I'm not going to meditate with y'all, but I'm all for y'all meditation. Because to center your brain, to center your energy from the outside world, from all of these effects that are just happening, influencing you, trying to take your attention, trying to pull you away, trying to make you go here, trying to make you think like this, trying to make you look like this. To center yourself from it all and remember who and what you are, your persona, your ego, yourself, I always advise and offer y'all to align it with natural principles and ancient knowledge and teachings for it to be inevitably solid with an extremely strong foundation. Again, that's how you become the true magician. But even you in your current state right now, if that's not particularly what you're seeking, tap in with your own mind and your own reality and your own game. You could always pair this ancient knowledge, your chakra system, the Kabbalion, up to your current reality and see how it's aligning, see how the people within it are aligning, see how you are aligning within it. I say all that to say, if you need answers without divination tools or asking other people. So boom, to meditate, you center yourself. You're still, you're here, you're one with nature, one with God, one with source. You look within your mind, you first understand forgiveness going into it. Forgiveness for yourself, for your actions, for what you've been through, for the people that you've harmed, for the people that have harmed you. And you look within. You are open to receive the answers, to decode and unlock your equation, whatever it is that you're going through. You got to be open to receive. You got to be open to look at your darkness, to open certain doors within your mind. And again, I would even say that's more of an advanced meditation, because that's the subconscious work that absolutely has to be done. But to meditate and just to be still in moments of flux of life, of things within your ego game, helps so much. Now, what is your ego game? That's your work, That's your leisure time, not leisure. That's really not your ego game. That's your spiritual time. But I guess if it's opposite from work, your hobbies, the things that you may enjoy, but it's still part of your ego game. It's still part of you surviving on this planet and trying to do something. So within those moments, collect yourself. Remember who the fuck you are. Remember your ego. Remember your persona. Remember the time that you've put in to do and be what you are and who you are, and prepare for the moment and stay present in the moment. When you're alone is the time that you should be going into the past, should be going into your mind, figuring things out. Why did this happen? Why did this person do this? Why did I do this? Why did I think this way? Why did I go here? Why did I accept this? That's the subconscious work. That's the healing. That's the coming out of the darkness and arising as the God. And again, psychedelics just take you there inevitably. Psychedelics just put you on the frequency with or without your permission. So if you want to take psychedelics because it just aligns you with natural, it aligns you with objectivity, it aligns you with what's true and what's real, and you'll start to see, at least on mushrooms, it's more of a none of it really matters. Only thing that matters is the now, is the beauty of the present moment. Off the acid, it's a little more serious and deep and introspective within your mind. Because again, Lucifer, Satan, demon, you're getting more in contact with your lower self, your lower nature, your ego, who you are, what you are, this, that, the other. Why do you do what you do? Does your ego, does your persona meet the litmus test of one, nature and objectivity, and two, the movers and shakers of this world, the people that are powerful? Or are you a cat looking in the mirror and seeing a lion looking back? That was a motherfucking bar. So with that being said, I'm gonna end this video. But I actually remember, y'all, a little backstory. I was on Spoken Reasons live stream. This was like 3 years ago at this point. I was in Monterey, California. Shout out Spoken Reasons, a YouTube OG that has been doing this for a minute. I think he said on the call, because I called him in, I asked him did he come up with the term faith, consistency, and hard work. He said he did. And he even had a bit of an energy toward Jaylen Brown using that hashtag. Cultural shit, y'all. Stay in tune with the midrocosm. I will break that down in the next video. So boom. I got on Spoken Reasons Live and I was asking him basically that, you know, being confident in yourself, being confident in what you speaking and what you giving to the world. And from his generation, from his perspective, even me calling and asking, however he may have heard and perceived my voice and my energy, he kind of had a mindset like, bro, what? Just do it. I mean, if you believe in it, if that's what you stand for, like, whatever it is that you're doing, he said you just got to have that energy. So from his ego and his way of life and him, who he is, the energy of doubt was foreign to him. The energy of not doing, especially with him being a comedian and just making fun of the world and just living, you know, that was interesting for me. But of course, 2 different generations. I'm a Gen Zer. We didn't grow up in this safetyism culture to constantly doubt ourselves. We were programmed to have fear toward this world, to have fear toward the people and the things and whatever could potentially happen, the false evidence appearing real. But I had asked Spoken Reasons something about basically being real, being who you say you are. Of course, we all go through the shadow and the energy and the thoughts and the doubt of whatever it is in our lives. Damn, I definitely want this video to go over an hour, so I'm gonna talk a little bit more. We all have those doubts. So I asked him something about that, but I had said about something, these people that are really cats and looking in the mirror and see lions looking back. And then even him, he had said, like he had liked that bar because I could see his face on the live stream. But I think I had came up with that off the fly when I talked to Spoken Reasons. That was probably just the poetic energy and alignment and synchronicity with somebody like him that made that flow out of me. But yeah, analyze yourself, analyze your ego, compare it, judge it, discern it, because it will always destroy you and inevitably make you fall back on disillusion within your life, within the people that you deal with and what you go through. Because its goal is to deceive you. Its goal is to survive by any means. But you, within the shell, are just here experiencing it all. Your brain, your heart, your body, all of these instruments of life are just here and a part of it for you to access and for you to control, or inevitably be controlled by. Your chakra system controlled and manipulated by this society to an extreme degree. You know, rooting you in your lower nature, rooting you in your sacral chakra, primarily if you under the age of 25 in this generation, making you want more sex, more people, more food, more entertainment, more love, more attachment, more feeling, more music, more whatever has you deeply programmed in your sacral chakra because of the cell phone, because of the media programming, the entertainment. Again, how to maintain a free mind in a controlled society, understanding that it's all manipulated to be this way, for you to be this way, for you to function, for you to think this way, for you to look this way, for you to live this way, for you to talk and interact with another person this way. I promise you. And again, satanic people with satanic desires and satanic goals that adhere to satanic ideologies and don't commit satanic sins within this world, control this world and control you and have you moving like a docile creature. Now, to choose willingly to participate in this society and make the money and provide for yourself, or even clean up the mess that you have already made for your spirit, is what should motivate you enough to do more, to produce more, to create more, to work more, to discipline more, to grind more, to read more. All I see is this green light on this camera right now, so I'm gonna keep talking to y'all. Never mind. This lecturing shit is interesting. It's very fun. I'm happy that I've definitely been able to flow into myself, into my own energy, into just dispensing the knowledge and the whatever else comes out that is of value. That is the reason that y'all fuck with me, because I fuck with y'all for fucking with me. Again, working out, a huge fucking advantage that you have in your life. Even the ability to be able to go to a Planet Fitness that is $10, maybe like $13, $14 a month, or pay like $29, $28, to have an unlimited Planet Fitness membership, be able to go to any gym in the country, right? It don't get no better than that as far as freedom to alchemize and really play the game. They really allow you to play the game. That's why America is so fucking interesting, because they allow you to play the game, even though there are rules that people have already played the game better, are in place and have extreme control and damn near run the game, but they allow you to play the game too. Damn, this shit is crazy, because a lot of people come from nothing and become absolute American gods, American legends. Things are open to them and given to them that is not given to the lesser, to the layman. Again, moral relativism. People have certain passes within this culture, within this economy, within this society. Is it fucked up? Or is it nature? Is it life? I don't know. It is life, but the society is controlled. But to not be mad at it, to accept it, frees you so much. It frees you right there to accept your life, to accept your circumstance, to accept your situation, to accept who you are and what you are, the family, the people, the life that you have been born into, to accept it, to look around, the year that you were born into, the generation, to accept it, to accept your addictions, to accept your pain, to accept your darkness. Again, radical vulnerability with yourself, radical honesty and truthfulness with yourself. You are already vulnerable with yourself. Radical vulnerability with the outside world will create an energy of freedom and love and spread knowledge. Because to simply say you don't know, or to say you don't have the answer, or to say that you don't want to do something, or you don't feel you're prepared, it all comes from knowing thyself. Opposite of the courageous person willing to do and say everything. The reserved, know thyself person, the patient, passive energy, there's nothing wrong with it. Because again, this is a school, this is a place of learning. My battery's on 20%. This is a school, this is a place of learning. So, don't deny yourself. Don't let your ego be too good to receive information or guidance or teachings from another. Don't let your ego be too good or too big to block you within the shell. You have to gain and maintain control of your ego if you want to ever maintain a free mind in a controlled society, because your ego is manipulated to an extreme degree. Like Neo in the Matrix, Neo 1 in the Matrix, that's you. That needs to awake. That needs to have the will and the power and the strength to awaken yourself, to free your mind, to then fight back against the Matrix, if that's what you choose to do. It helps. I will tell y'all that the energy, the spiritual energy, the spiritual currency is doubled, is given back tenfold when you spread love, freedom, peace, knowledge, and information. This cosmic spirituality, natural law, when you become literally a person that speaks on it, that shares it with others, the energy is brought back to you in a greater way. The protection, the guidance, the insight, the downloads, the personal strength and creativity, it's all there, and it's all here for you to tap into. Because what else are you tapped into? What else is more important? What else is more valuable than knowledge? What else is more valuable than ancient teachings and studies? What else is more valuable than your chakra system? What else is more valuable than your own mind? The mind is all, and the universe is mental. Control your mind, control your universe, control your game, control yourself. You don't need to control others, but it actually comes with the territory. Not even sadly to say, because in the words of Brother Panic, some people need it. Some people need that guidance. Some people need that assurance within this fucked up world, within this controlled society, within this dictated and manipulated world where people's subconscious and unconscious minds are natural and godlike. So it'll always conflict with the conscious egoic mind that is being led around and believing and thinking and questioning. It'll always be at odds with the side of you that is natural, that wants to just be a free individual within this world. Is it a fucked up game? Or did people just come in and manipulate it to this degree? And this is the state that we're in as humans on this planet. Probably a little bit of both. But I love y'all, man. Thank y'all for listening to me. Do not forget past orthodoxies, and may you never